Hello guys! Good morning! Today is Wednesday. Umuwi kami sa amin nung Monday nung umaga. Maaga kami nag-travel kasi 3 sakay pa galing dito kung saan kami nakatira. Umuwi kami doon kasi 7 months na walang tao doon. May maliit kami doon na bahay. Kahoy lang siya. Minsan makita siguro niyo yun sa sa previous vlog namin. So pumunta kami doon kasi naglinis kami ng kapatid ko. Kasi yung nanay at tatay ko umuwi doon. Kailangan na nila kami. So kailangan na nila kami mga anak nila. So yung tatay ko na siya, paralyzed na siya. Ito kaming magkapatid, ako yung panganay. Sa ngayon malalaki na kami. Isa na lang yung walang asawa. Salita na lang kaming mga anak na daily nila na pangangailangan, number 1 talaga yung pagkain. Yung ibang kapatid ko malayo, so magpadala lang sila. So kami, medyo malapit lang kasi andito lang din kami sa lugar. Layo din, 3 sakay. So yon, kami mismo pumunta doon. Tinapos namin naglinis, may mga labahan pa doon. Sabi ko, hindi ko na maabutan to kasi kailangan din namin bumalik kung saan kami nakatira ngayon. Dito pa rin sa Mindanao. Tapos yun, kasi yung asawa ko kasi kailangan niya ring talaga ng trabaho. Mag2 buwan, wala siyang ngayon. May nakita na siya, pilpilian niya. Wow. Tiningnan niya yung mas malaking, medyo afford talaga yung maka-afford sa amin. Sana next week or another next week, sana sana pinag-pray ko. So yun guys. So ayun, so ang natin ngayon yun. Yung asawa ko kasi busy talaga ako at saka yung kapatid ko, tinulungan ko siya doon lahat before balik dito sa kung saan kami nakatira. So yun, yung asawa ko yung nagba-vlog doon sa palibot sa namin sa farm. In 7 months walang tao doon. So yun lang, tapos yung asawa ko kasi yung nagba-vlog kasi wala na akong time. So yun. So ito lang yung mga vlog niya doon sa amin. So okay naman sila doon, hindi kami nag-worry. Kailangan kami magkapatid salitan talaga. Is ganun talaga pag matanda na yung magulang natin. Hanggang tumanda sila, lumaki rin tayo. Walang ibang tumulong kundi tayo lang. Tayo lang talaga mga anak. Walang magawa yung kapitbahay, hanggang alala lang sila, pero 100% magkapamilya pa rin ang magtulungan talaga. Bonus na kung may kadugo ka na kahit financial din makatulong, pero mostly lang, comfort lang sa pamilya kung sino yung parang dumanas ng problema. Yun ang nakita ko. Yun, walang ibang natin, pero mga anak pa rin yung magtulungan para sa ating magulang. Mga anak lang din yung mag-save sa kanila. So yun na nga ang sinabi ko. Wala ring ibang tumulong kundi tayo. Tayong mga anak.
Here's my wife making a stick broom. We're in a farm. It's part of what we have here. We've been growing corn down where the goat used to. It's a downhill slope. So Lincoln is down playing with his little cousin. They went down to their grandparents' home. Their grandparents' home used to be down the hill, down where I showed you where the corn was, but they changed the location. Let me just show you something here. This is a clothesline up with hundreds of ants in your hair, and you can see I don't have a lot of hair, but man, they're just all over me now. Let's take a look here. So I'm not going to go all the way down, just a little bit of the ways. I've fallen down this little slope on several occasions, several meaning probably more than 10, but today it's kind of dry. It's going to rain like it normally does this afternoon. This is the first part. So we just remove the what formerly were leaves from the stem, and then it becomes those bigger pieces, which my wife then removes the shell, and then it becomes a chem block. Not quite as resilient as bamboo, of course, but it's flexible and makes an excellent solution. Okay. How much would this cost? One broom?
If we sell this one,
yeah,
like $1.
$1. That's 50 pesos?
Yeah.
Oh.
But this one,
This is just for your house.
yeah, for to clean the house surrounding, to clean the to clean the dry leaves.
Of course, there's lots of competition for selling of stick brooms. They'll probably finish that up in just a bit. I'm running out of a charge. There's very little electricity up here, so I'm going to see what little I can siphon off of the line, and I'll be back in a bit. So here we have a little artisanal bracelet. See? Can you show us what you did here with the palm leaf?
The 90s toy.
Wow,
Generation.
90s generation toy.
80s.
Or 80s.
80s.
Yeah.
Oh, 80s, 90s.
Oh, there it is. That's how they used to do it.
Wow.
No screens, no games.
Yeah. No,
That's just it right there. See, look how much fun it is. You put it on your wrist, you spin around, you fall down.
Hi.
That's her younger sister, Diana. That's her baby boy. And
You want
this is
Lincoln?
baby
You
girl.
want?
Lincoln wants to do it.
You can't do it.
It's
Okay,
very
you want
sharp.
auntie ka. You want like Korean? Yeah. Umuwi po na isa yan kaya nag-iwi.
So that's how they do it out here. It's an adjustment. It's a good life. Simple. And here's the house. It was left abandoned for about almost a year. So here's Grandma. This is my wife's mother. But here. So she's back. They've come back here now. This was my wife's room at one point. And now her mother sleeps there. So this part of the kitchen collapsed. See all these nails that came out just through disuse. My wife climbed up on top of the roof yesterday, which you'll see pictures of there, and tried to do a little bit of mending. But again, as the house gets, especially here in the Philippines, with the humidity and the constant rain and the wind, and especially so here on the mountaintop, there's a neighbor dog always scrounging for food. Dogs here are gentle enough, but they do bite from time to time. Any kind of animal scratch or bite. So again, I'm gonna try to. They built this little hut out here, this little sun area, which you see is also deteriorated. This used to it was really super nice when they first made it. It's just over time. This is just normal wear and tear. People rarely use this, but the few times they did, I tried to sit on this yesterday, and immediately this part here cracked. So we had to put some rows, trying to jerry-rig it, try to prop up some wood to make it sittable. But let's see if we can see. Yeah, we can't see it down there. But there is a sinking, I want to call it a gulch, but I don't know if that's the right word for it. But anyway, down there between the crevice between these two mountains is where the river is. So in the morning it's very beautiful because there's a mist that gets created in this valley overnight. I've taken pictures of my wife and I while we were cultivating our peanuts there. So we have some beautiful sunset pictures of us. And so a beautiful raging river down there. So last night we heard the chime of a fish truck that came up the mountain, and she bought some what's called milkfish. It's about the size of, I don't know, maybe a trout, not as fat, but also flat, and but very delicious. Tastes a little bit like milk. That's what I was doing. This was my breakfast table. Yeah. So what we did was we brought up a care package, several boxes of dried noodles, salt, powdered milk for some of the children, and some rice and oils, mostly cooking household items. Over that, there's a second mountain range over that way. And then they cart it in trucks. They fill them up in these yellow jugs, which the villagers have to pay for themselves. You may know that China recently banned all foreign teachers from teaching English, either online or in country. They did that very abruptly overnight. Hundreds of thousands of foreign teachers, mostly Americans, lost their jobs overnight. And of course, millions of Chinese workers also lost their jobs who worked at those education companies, either managing online classes or administering in-person classes, which I used to do when I was in China. But then when I left China, I continued with that work, but online exclusively. But all of that now was instantly banned. And when they say banned in China, that means your business has locks on it the next day. There's no negotiation. My fingers are too big for this one. Most, if not all, the Chinese companies then had all of their assets confiscated. So hundreds and thousands of companies were decimated overnight, as well as millions of Chinese jobs for Chinese people, and then of course for hundreds of thousands of. Well, there's one company alone, VIP Kids, I think it was called, which employed over 100,000 American teachers. I worked for one of the smaller companies, and it had about 10,000 American teachers. After that, most recently, I worked for one that only had 70 teachers. It's a very little boutique type firm operating out of Hong Kong. But once they heard about the ban, she decided within a week to cancel all of her classes. So one day I woke up, I was in the middle of a class. I was actually teaching a class to one of my long-term students, and abruptly the Zoom signal went out. So and I could see the parent was looking at me, trying to determine what was going on, and then I was WeChatting. It was a chat messaging service with my boss. She said, "This class is finished. You're no longer employed with us. Sorry." That was it. And a few days later, I got my last pay from them through PayPal. But remember that there's hundreds of thousands of teachers that have lost their jobs. The fact that I had 13 years of experience was certainly a great one, but remember that I'm competing with so many others that there's not enough jobs left to go around now. So we'll see. I'm looking at a career change. I don't know what that will look like, and I think I'm out of a charge. So I'll keep you updated. Bye-bye. So here we go, going down the corn pathway, leaving the home. Everyone's here. Mom, younger sister, baby. And we're only missing Lincoln, our own boy. He's down here someplace in the cornfields. There we go. Here I am, all decked out, ready for the long motorcycle ride down the mountains. Take about 35-40 minutes to get all the way down the mountain to our second transit point. Then we'll get onto maybe a small tricycle, and that'll take us to a very small city that has an actual bus terminal. But we'll actually probably end up taking one of those jeepney things, those old military vehicles that they retrofitted. Yeah, so this is the corn.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, they can see the corn. Yeah. Okay. And here we go. You see, when is the harvest going to be, honey?
Huh?
When is the harvest going to be?
Next month.
Next month, so you can see this. Corn stalks are pretty tall.
Yeah.
Yeah, make the light down there. So, here you are. And so this is our first neighbor. That's down here. So you can see at the home that we're at, my mother and father-in-law's home is up on a mountaintop. It's up there. Can't see it over the corn stalks. So here's the clothes wire here. Yeah, so remember we have the duck. Yeah, okay, bye-bye. See you. Where's the Lincoln? Oh, okay, bye-bye. So the clothesline, remember the ants along the clothesline, so we got a duck. Honey, what's this?
Yeah, that is the coconut.
Pork fat.
Coconut.
Oh, it's coconut, okay. So now we're going down, and you see it's pretty much all downhill from here. So I'll take just a little bit of it for you. From up there. So we had to leave my wife and the son behind because we only had one motorcycle. Much better. So we're gonna go uphill just a little bit, but then from there on it's pretty much downhill. Let's take a look. Okay, here we are on the roadside. My rider stopped suddenly and said he needed to get some petrol. He kind of coasted to a stop. He walked up that hill there, and you can see the coconuts there on the ground. I thought I felt something wet while we were riding, and yeah, it looks like one of our coconuts leaked. So, when you take the coconut off the tree, you got to remove the shell, which is what you see there. The two brown ones are the ones with the water, the coconut milk that most of us know. The ones that have the white, more white colored, those are the younger coconuts. And again, we have to remove the shell there too as well, and that's going to be mostly flesh, the coconut meat. And there's a storm coming in, which is why we decided to come off the mountain tonight, this afternoon rather, so we can make it back to my hometown of Maramag, which is about, I don't know, about 40 kilometers from here. And from here on out, it's pretty much all level. And in the far distance there, you can see some of the mountains which we came from. So, of course, I couldn't manage the coconuts and the backpacks and all this stuff that you see here, along with the bumpy trail that we came down. So you only saw a small portion of it, the initial descent. And my wife should be coming along pretty soon. Okay, thanks for hanging out, and we'll catch you next time.
So, ayun na guys. So, tapos na. Yun yung mga videos niya. Marami pala siyang videos doon. Tapos, pag uwi namin, sabi niya, i-upload ko daw sa channel ko. So, yun yung yung ganap namin doon, yung nagbisita kami doon sa nanay ko. So, pagbalik kasi nila doon, kasama ako lang at si Lincoln. Tapos, bumalik ako dito sa bahay. Sabi ng asawa ko, balik tayo doon. Marami kaming yung mga grocery nila. Mabili na namin sila ng grocery, bigas, ayun na. Pero nabili ko na yun una nung pumunta ako doon. Tapos, dinagdagan na lang namin nung pagbalik namin na 3 kami. Sana nag-enjoy kayo sa vlog namin. Simple life lang dito sa Philippines. Residence na kasi yung asawa ko dito. Mag 2 years na nung October. Yun. So, every yearly na lang siya babalik sa Bureau of Immigration para mag-report. 300 yung yung parang lang, mag-report, tapos may bayad, nasa paper yun, nakalimutan ko. So yun lang. So ayan, ganito yung buhay namin dito as of now.
Bye guys, I'm studying.
So yan, nag-study siya, siya ng mga niya, mga alphabet, numbers.
See you next time.
See you next time.
How about you?
Okay, see you next time daw.